Summer vacation in North America seems to have reached its peak, yet strangely, Las Vegas is unusually empty. While Canada's national parks are packed, the once glittering casinos of Vegas are slowly emptying. The bustling streets of yesterday now sparsely populated, mostly by residents with nowhere else to go, battling the scorching Nevada desert sun. Las Vegas, a symbol of luxury, once dubbed the entertainment capital of the United States, is gradually losing the allure and magic that once drew millions of visitors. The media may say that tourism is recovering, but only those who live in the heart of the city, from residents to casino workers, truly understand the reality behind that glamorous facade. In today's video, we're not just looking for answers to why Las Vegas's tourism industry is facing a severe decline, but also uncovering the heartbreaking story of the collapse of an icon, a place once known as the City of Dreams, now standing on the brink of recession. This isn't just a story about tourism, it's the tragedy of a community struggling amid relentless change, left behind in the storm of the times. If I won a trip to Las Vegas, I would give it to someone I don't like. This sounds like a harmless joke, but it actually reflects the silent rejection of many tourists toward this city. Vegas used to be fun and unbelievably cheap. This place used to be a destination for countless bargains. You might lose $100 in the casino, but you wouldn't mind, because a hotel room is only $19 a night, and all-you-can-eat buffet is just $3.99, and the cocktail in your hand is always free. It's a Vegas where anyone can pretend to be rich and indulge in affordable pleasures. But those days are long gone. Now, an hour of parking that used to be free can cost you $35, $500 for a night at a budget hotel, $26 for a bottle of water and a burger that'll set you back $30. Some visitors bring enough cash to go all in at the casino, thinking things are still as cheap as they used to be, but when they find the room rates have tripled compared to a few decades ago, they end up sleeping on the street waiting for their return flight, alongside the homeless, who once also came to Vegas for its cheap thrills. A Canadian tourist who has been coming to Vegas for many years shared, "Canadian here. It's not the tariffs, it's not the interest rates, it's not the exchange rate, it's the politics. I live a 45-minute drive from the border and used to visit regularly by car and air. This year, I went to Hong Kong and Japan in March for 3 weeks, France and Spain in July for 2.5 weeks, and I'm about to go to Ireland in August for 2 weeks. Did you notice where I didn't go this year? I'm not the only one. It was a deliberate choice, and a statement of rejection from an entire group of middle-class visitors who once contributed a significant portion to the city's tourism revenue and economic vitality. Not only is it expensive, but costs in Vegas also morph into confusing surcharges, concession fee, service recovery, COVID surcharge, and so on. Even a tourist once saw a $45 window fee on their hotel bill. When asked, the receptionist simply replied, "It's because your room has a window. No extra dishes, no new services, just small print that adds to the bill without creating any real value." People now compare reading a Vegas bill to conducting an investigation, flipping through each page, scanning every line to uncover hidden charges. And with every new fee they spot, another visitor quietly crosses the city off their must-come-back list. Vegas was once a place where anyone could play at being rich and still enjoy simple pleasures without a second thought. Today, it seems the city is catering only to the upper class, while its core audience, the very people who helped shape its identity, are left standing outside the door. Perhaps the signs of change were already evident from 2024, when Ocean One Bar and Grill, the iconic restaurant with a $4.99 lunch menu, closed. It's not just the passing of a humble eatery, but a farewell bell for the end of an era. Today, Las Vegas is focused on luxury experiences, high-tech shows with $279 tickets, glamorous entertainment, replacing the low-cost deals that were once the city's soul. Many tourists say they not only feel unwelcome, but also that they have been replaced by a different group of customers. They cancelled flights, changed destinations, and chose places where the money spent provided better value and a more complete experience. When a city trades friendliness and down-to-earth charm for luxury, does it inadvertently sever the ties that bind it to the very people who created its identity? And if that thread is lost, what will remain to preserve the city's soul against the superficial glitter? It's not just that Vegas has become expensive, but also the unease that creeps into every step you take while strolling through the streets. There was a time when people came to Vegas to have fun, burn some money at the casinos, and then return home with amusing stories to tell. But today, the worry doesn't just come from sky-high bills, but also from the feeling that you're not sure you'll leave here with the same peace of mind as when you arrived. For a long time, Vegas has been nicknamed Sinful City. The city of entertainment, luxury, and unrestrained pleasures. And like all names, it reflects a part of the truth. In the 1940s to 1970s, many casinos were controlled or funded by mafia groups from Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles. Behind the bright lights are shadowy lines, mysterious payments that few get to witness. Although the management apparatus is more modern today, that legacy still casts a shadow over the city's image that is difficult to erase. According to Neighborhood Scout, Vegas has a crime rate of 37 incidents per 1,000 residents, higher than most other communities in Nevada. The risk of becoming a victim of crime here is 1 in 27, a number high enough to make even those who once loved this place think twice before strolling down the brightly lit avenue. That number doesn't just exist on paper. It surfaces in whispered advice among tourists. Don't go too far from the Strip alone at night. And so, instead of letting their eyes wander freely among the magnificent scenery, many tourists have to focus on holding onto their wallets tightly, carrying with them a feeling of anxiety rather than the joy of enjoyment. Not only that, even the Las Vegas hasn't officially legalized some nighttime industries. Their images still unintentionally creep into the minds of visitors. Partly because neighboring counties like Nye County or Pahrump, where laws are more lenient, have created a blurred overlap zone. For newcomers, this makes Vegas both dazzling and unpredictable. As if beneath the bright lights, there are still hidden corners that the city itself cannot control. Those shadows become even clearer when looking at the numbers. In just 5 years, long-term lodging facilities like Sienna Suites, The Suites, and Sportsman's Royal Manor recorded a staggering 44,000 emergency calls. Despite some areas having increased security, the label of unsafe zone is not easily erased. In a city where neon lights never sleep, there are still terrifying silences, places where people don't go for entertainment, but to cling to each day of survival. For many older Americans, especially those who walked the Las Vegas Strip in the 1980s and 1990s, this is not just a change in a tourist destination. It's like watching a piece of the American dream erode, layer by layer, revealing cracks that are difficult to mend. So, does a friendly and safe Vegas still exist, like in our memories? Or has it all faded away, remaining only in the stories of the previous generation? No one who has ever loved this place is prepared for the prospect of seeing the once vibrant city gradually become eerily empty. The absence of a seemingly small group of tourists, Canadians, Europeans, and winter snowbirds, created a devastating domino effect. According to the latest statistics, the number of tourists visiting Vegas has decreased by approximately 11% compared to the same period last year. In June alone, this figure decreased by over 400,000 people compared to June 2024, representing an 11.3% drop. Those numbers aren't just data, they're thousands of empty chairs, forgotten roulette tables, and lights that are still on but have no one to admire them. The most noticeable impact is in the heart of the city, the casinos. The casinos that never slept are now experiencing unusual lulls. And then, the biggest shock. Casino Tropicana Las Vegas, a legendary hotel casino located right on the Las Vegas Strip, decided to close after over 66 years of continuous operation. For many, Tropicana is not just a building, but a symbol of the golden age, a place where the sounds of dice, winning cheers, and live music blend into the heartbeat of Vegas. Now, that symbol is gradually becoming a thing of the past. But this isn't just a story about a building. Casinos in Vegas are not just places to gamble. They are the lifeblood of approximately 27% of the city's workforce. When a casino closes or experiences a decline in customers, a chain reaction begins. Dealers lose their jobs, waitstaff have their shifts cut, security guards are laid off, suppliers lose contracts, and even the supporting service industry is affected. Losing a stable income, many people find themselves in a precarious situation, not just financially, but also mentally. For those who have worked in casinos for decades, the job is not just a livelihood, but also a source of pride and a connection to the community. When it disappeared, the blow to their lives was almost fatal. Some tried to find new jobs, others packed up their meager belongings, and some ended up living on the streets. According to community support organizations, Las Vegas currently has approximately 8,000 homeless people, and a significant number of them used to work in the casino industry. They are no strangers to Vegas. They are the very backbone that helped create the city's prosperity. However, when the slot machine reels stopped spinning, they also lost their footing, their homes, and gradually disappeared from the places they once belonged. Some people seek out temporary shelters on the outskirts of the city, living in cramped conditions. Some people have taken refuge in the underground sewer system, considered a second Vegas, the underground city, for those with nowhere else to go. Amidst the neon lights still shining on the ground, below lies a parallel world filled with coldness and despair. Vegas was once built on the belief that everyone has a place in its party, rich or poor, extravagant or frugal. But as the gaming tables stood empty, as the noise gave way to silence, a question arose in the hearts of many. Was this the accidental collapse of a city, or a deliberate change aimed at reshaping Vegas for the few? What's happening in Vegas isn't just a story about rising room rates or empty casinos. It's also a consequence of broader socio-economic upheavals, where the international tourist flow that once sustained this city is gradually disappearing. From Canada to Europe, more and more tourists are choosing to boycott trips to the United States, not because of the distance or weather, but because they feel unwelcome. For international visitors, Vegas was once a dazzling dream, a destination that was both free-spirited and friendly. But now, across travel forums, people are recounting unpleasant experiences, complex entry procedures, suspicious glances at the border, and harsh questions that made them feel more like they were being investigated than welcomed. That harshness creates a strong psychological barrier, causing many people to skip Vegas and go to places where they feel more respected and safe. The ripple effect is inevitable. Without Canadian and European tourists, Vegas loses its long-stay and big-spending visitors. Those who not only gamble, but also shop, see shows, dine, and participate in entertainment activities. When this group disappears, the revenue gap is not easily filled, as domestic tourists cannot fully compensate. Meanwhile, the paradox is evident right on the streets. Many local residents believe that troublemakers, thieves, and lawbreakers are rampant and almost unpunished, while legitimate tourists have to go through a series of checks and surveillance. That asymmetry makes the city's image even more distorted in the eyes of international visitors, and even in the hearts of the very Americans who were once proud of Vegas. For older Americans, especially those who witnessed the golden age of Vegas, this is not just a decline in visitors. It's like watching an old friend slowly lose themselves due to changes both external and internal. And the lingering question remains, If a city built on openness now closes itself off to the world, how much of the soul that made Vegas famous will it retain? If you only see Vegas through dazzling commercials or global marketing campaigns, you'd believe the city is still in its prime. The Strip is radiant, casinos are bustling, shows are explosive, and tourists are smiling brightly as they raise their glasses of wine. But when they actually set foot there, many people realized the gap between the image and the experience was too large. Media campaigns still sell you a Vegas where everyone is welcome, but in reality, many visitors leave feeling like outsiders. Close-up shots of crowded blackjack tables will never show you what's behind the scenes, where staff are folding napkins because there are no customers, or the bar is so empty that the bartender barely moves all day. What's concerning is that this disparity not only disappoints tourists, but also creates a domino effect on trust. When guests feel the experience doesn't match what was promised, they not only hesitate to return, but also share their true stories on social media, quickly eroding Vegas's image. And this is the cycle that any brand or destination finds difficult to escape. Media overpromises, reality doesn't deliver, and credibility gradually declines. But that gap can still be narrowed. Vegas could certainly choose to be more transparent, for example, by introducing clearly priced travel packages, fully displaying the all-inclusive price on major booking platforms like Expedia or Booking.com, including resort fees and parking fees. This helps guests avoid feeling shocked when paying, while also providing peace of mind before they plan. Simultaneously, the city can revive budget-friendly experiences while maintaining its unique character. Buffet combos with shows, tours of the Old Quarter or local markets, or Vegas-inspired meals in collaboration with popular chains like Denny's and IHOP. This is how to retain the middle-class customer base, once the lifeblood of Vegas, without losing its identity. Additionally, combining seasonal promotions with airlines like Southwest Airlines or Allegiant Air will be an irresistible offer for customers in neighboring states or from Canada, where ticket prices and travel costs directly influence travel decisions. And perhaps most importantly, Vegas needs to let the real story be told. Instead of relying solely on stage shots, include images and narratives from local residents, service staff, and even tourists enjoying a more ordinary Vegas. An honest message, accompanied by a commitment to improve the experience, could make former users reconsider returning, not for the hype, but for genuine engagement. For many Americans over 55, audiences who witnessed the Vegas of its golden age, this is not just a story about a tourist city, but a question about memory and belief. Is Vegas ready to shed its glittering facade and show the world its true face, ready to welcome everyone? Or will it continue to maintain its opulence while forgetting those who once loved it the most? For many Americans over 55, Vegas is not just a destination, but a part of their memories, a place where they celebrated special occasions, met old friends, or simply enjoyed a few carefree days. However, their recent visits have brought a completely different feeling. Instead of friendliness and comfort, they've encountered a colder, more calculating, and more unfamiliar city than ever before. Many people report that when they enter a casino or restaurant, they no longer feel the welcoming eyes they used to. Friendly smiles were replaced by promotional price lists that were still sky high, while services that were previously standard were now separated into separate charges. Some tourists even shared that they felt like second-class citizens in the very city they once loved so dearly. This sense of loss isn't just an emotional issue, it also directly impacts spending decisions. Those who have been returning to Vegas annually are choosing to stay home or seek out other destinations, where the money they spend offers more obvious value. It could be a cruise with Royal Caribbean, an all-inclusive vacation at Sandals Resorts, or a week in Branson, Missouri, with quality shows at reasonable prices. However, this gap can still be narrowed if Vegas knows how to rekindle its relationship with loyal guests. A possible direction is to implement Vegas loyalty return packages, partnering with membership programs like MGM Rewards or Caesars Rewards to offer special incentives to guests who have visited in the past. This isn't just about retaining customers, but also about sending the message that Vegas still values them. Additionally, creating nostalgic experiences, recreating the 1980s to 90s Vegas style with buffets, shows, and distinctive spaces could become a unique selling point. The combination with familiar F&B brands of this generation, such as IHOP, Cracker Barrel, or Dunkin', will help evoke a sense of familiarity and connection. Can broken bridges be mended with sincerity and truly worthwhile experiences? Or will those beautiful memories forever remain a part of the past? There are cities that are synonymous with an entire generation, and Vegas is one of them. For many Americans over 55, Vegas was once a place where every trip was a new chapter in the book of memories. From the dazzling nights on the Strip to cozy buffets, from the clatter of dice on the table to the friendly handshake of hotel staff. However, that image is fading. In the minds of many, the question began to arise: can Vegas be revived, or will it gradually fade into the background like a distant memory? Resurrection is not impossible. But the prerequisite is that Vegas must decide who it wants to serve and how. If the city continues to chase the luxury segment and ignores the middle-class group, who were once the soul of the city, the answer is clear. Conversely, if Vegas seeks to balance and restore the for-everyone experience without sacrificing modernity, there's still a chance for this story to have a new chapter. A viable strategy is to redesign the Vegas value packages. All-inclusive travel packages featuring hotels, entertainment, and dining at transparent prices, targeting long-term customers. Vegas could partner with Costco Travel, AAA, or airlines like Southwest Airlines to create special offers for returning customers. This not only helps restore trust, but is also a powerful form of communication. We still welcome you. Additionally, Heritage Nights programs could be a highlight, recreating the space and style of 1980s to 90s Vegas with the ticket prices, food, and music of that era. Collaborating with iconic F&B brands like IHOP, Denny's, or Starbucks Reserve can add appeal. Because ultimately, what matters isn't what Vegas used to be, but who Vegas chooses to become in the future. This city can continue to be a vibrant symbol of entertainment and openness, or it can become an old photograph to be flipped through at family gatherings. Will we, those who once loved Vegas, still want to give it a chance to become a part of our present? Or will we gradually accept letting a legend and its golden memories be buried in the past? Vegas has never been just a city. For many, it's a promise of freedom, of unlimited joy, of how anyone, rich or poor, can enter and feel like they belong here. But that promise seems to be fading. The lights still shone brightly, but the light that made hearts flutter was harder to find than ever. The streets are still crowded, but they lack the carefree smiles of those who come just to enjoy a little affordable luxury. And in the music, the clatter of dice, there seemed to be a silence. The silence of a generation wondering if Vegas still had a place for them. Perhaps this city will find itself again. It's also possible that it will continue on the path reserved for only a few. But one thing is certain: Vegas will never exist as we once knew it, if those who once loved it turn their backs and leave it to live only in nostalgia. Are you ready to go back to Vegas to see if it still has the soul you once knew? Or will you leave it in your memories as a closed chapter? If you've ever been to Vegas, share your story in the comments section. Who knows, your story might be the missing piece for the next video. Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to tell stories that not everyone is willing to listen to, but everyone needs to know. Each share is an opportunity to add one more person who understands, one more person who cares, and one more ray of hope for those whose lives are lived in silence. This video is not intended to condemn any organization, individual, or political group. All information presented is based on publicly available data, official reports, and field observations from multiple perspectives. The stories, images, and perspectives presented are educational in nature, reflecting social realities to stimulate constructive discussion without creating incitement, panic, or generalizations. We do not condone any illegal behavior whatsoever. We do not normalize suffering, and we do not turn human misery into entertainment. This is not a conclusion. It is an invitation to reflect together, to dialogue together, and to hold on to the remaining humanity within each of us.